So if you imagine flying over Grand Junction, Colorado, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful up there.
Exactly. It's this perfect, peaceful grid from 30,000 feet.
Smooth transitions from the desert to the river, yeah.
But then you get down on the ground, and it is just a completely different story. It is noisy, it's chaotic. There's this relentless hum of a world that just, well, never sleeps.
It's a stark contrast.
Right. And that contrast, that calm aerial view versus the grinding reality on the ground, that's exactly what we are exploring today. We're doing a deep dive into the manifesto, I Am Healthy Money.
It's a really fascinating text.
It really is. The mission today is to look at the surprising hidden link between your nervous system and your net worth. Because, I mean, the connection is deeply biological.
It is vital, yeah. Because we are basically trying to navigate this, like, Tesla speed, modern world, but we're doing it using a brain that's still wired for the campfire.
Right, like we're running on caveman hardware.
Exactly. So every ping on your phone or, every urgent email, your primitive brain literally interprets that as a rustle in the bushes.
Like a predator.
Yeah. The source material actually calls this a threat detection hijack.
Right, so instead of a literal tiger, it's just, a passive-aggressive Slack message from your boss.
Exactly.
But how does that actually drain our bank accounts? Because that's the big claim here.
Well, it comes down to something scientists call allostatic load.
Okay.
We often treat chronic stress like it's some sort of badge of honor, right? But your body tracks it like a literal ledger. There's this biological debt formula in the text.
Which is biological requirements minus biological investment.
You got it. When you consistently demand more from your body than you invest in rest, you build debt. And the physical mechanism is crazy. Chronic stress actually causes your prefrontal cortex to physically shrink.
Wait, the part of the brain that does long-term planning.
Yes, the exact part responsible for strategic financial planning. Meanwhile, the amygdala, which is basically your panic button, grows larger.
Wow. So you are biologically handicapping your ability to make smart money moves.
Precisely.
That actually explains the concept of presenteeism that the research mentions.
Yeah, the dollar cost on that is wild.
Right. For those listening, presenteeism isn't just showing up. It's sitting at your desk, exhausted, physically there, but totally checked out mentally.
Just going through the motions.
Exactly. And the data says this costs up to $20,683 a year per person.
It's staggering.
It's like leaving a dozen heavy apps open on your smartphone.
Right?
Your battery is just draining in the background while you're just answering emails.
That's a perfect analogy. And you cannot simply willpower your way out of a battery drain like that.
Right.
If your internal battery is constantly draining, you have to fix your physical hardware before you can even think about upgrading your financial software.
Okay, I actually want to challenge this idea a bit. The whole physical hardware dictating wealth thing.
Sure, it's a big shift.
Because the author introduces this brain-body-bank triangle and quotes Dr. Mark Knock on structural noise.
Yes, specifically the trigeminal nerve.
Right, and frankly, it sounds like a massive stretch to say my tight jaw or like a misaligned airway is what's keeping me from maximizing my 401k. How does a tight muscle equal a bad investment?
It sounds wild, I know, but the biology makes perfect sense when you look at the mechanism. The trigeminal nerve is this massive neural pathway.
Okay.
And it delivers more than half of all sensory information from your face and jaw straight to your brainstem.
Wow, half.
Yeah. So if your airway is compromised, or say your jaw is perpetually clenched from stress, that nerve is just firing off constant warning signals.
Oh, so it's literally structural noise, like a physical error message.
Precisely. Your brain receives those signals as an immediate existential threat. It feels like you are slowly choking.
That is intense.
It is. And in that state, your biology takes complete control. It will always prioritize securing your next breath over calculating compound interest.
Because you're just in survival mode.
Right. Your strategic thinking just shuts down to keep you alive.
That is wild. So if our jaw is tight, our brain thinks we're dying, and we make terrible financial choices.
Pretty much.
So assuming we actually address the physical hardware, right? We fix the breathing, relax the jaw. How do we reprogram the financial behaviors we've already ruined?
Well, the manifesto outlines a process called neural wealth conditioning.
Okay, neural wealth conditioning.
Yeah. But the big hurdle here is a phenomenon called destructive familiarity. Humans will instinctively cling to painful, destructive financial habits just because they're familiar.
Because familiar feels safe, even if it's keeping you broke.
Exactly. To your nervous system, known pain is better than unknown danger.
The primitive brain just hates the unknown more than it hates being stressed out.
That's exactly it. So to rewire those loops, you have to intentionally interrupt them. The text actually compares it to learning accordion music.
Wait, accordion music?
Yeah, you can't just press buttons. You have to find a brand new push and pull rhythm to physically disrupt the old neural pathways.
I love that. And the author uses another great analogy for this new rhythm, his grandmother baking bread.
Oh, right, feeling the dough.
Yeah, she didn't blindly follow a rigid recipe. She felt the dough.
Yeah.
She adjusted to the humidity, the temperature, the rhythm of her hands.
Which is what he calls healthy money intelligence.
Exactly. It's not about a strict budget. It's about being regulated enough to adapt to the reality in front of you, which actually explains the pivot to AI in the sources.
How so?
Well, the text suggests using AI as cognitive leverage. At first I thought, okay, they're just throwing a tech buzzword into a biology discussion.
Right, it seems a little out of place at first glance.
But it's actually about offloading administrative tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Having AI draft emails or sort data. By removing that mental friction, you stay out of the threat detection zone.
Ah, so you preserve your emotional bandwidth.
Exactly.
That's a crucial connection. AI takes on the extraneous load, so your brain has the sovereign reserves left to focus on strategy and sustainability. You stay in the green zone.
Protecting the bank point of that triangle.
Yes, absolutely.
Which really shifts the entire paradigm for you listening today. True financial freedom isn't a math problem. It's a living, breathing ecosystem.
It really is.
It's why something as simple as your social connections matters so much to your wallet.
Surrounding yourself with good people recharges your social battery.
And actively dampens your cortisol levels, protecting that prefrontal cortex we talked about.
It is all about regulating the nervous system so you can get back to that peaceful 30,000-foot view.
Exactly. Which leaves you with something vital to consider today. If your nervous system ultimately dictates your net worth, what everyday destructive familiarity are you currently clinging to for safety? And what hidden biological tax is it secretly costing you?